The number one concern I see from players so far about Enfield is that they feel like they don't have enough pulls to be able to get the limited character in time before the banner ends. So I'm here to fix that. I'm going to tell you with certainty that you're able to get enough pulls to get Levitate in a single day as a free-to-play player. Now, I did play for 27 hours straight, but now that I know the routes, and now that I understand how to actually get the Oroberyls, I can teach you guys how to do it not only faster and better, but I can tell you everything I know so you can farm for her easier. Also, as a quick side note, because someone's going to be really stupid, I have 11 pulls here, 2 pulls here. This is another 10 pull, and this is like 7. So I have more than enough to guarantee her. With that said, let's teach you how to farm Oroberyls efficiently. And on top of that, I'll also teach you how to convert things like the bond quotas and whatnot in the most optimal manner. The first thing I want to get started out with, before you convert any of your origiometries into the premium currency to pull on Levitane's banner, I want you to buy the battle pass. As you can see here, the second tier costs origiometry, but you get a refund and then some from it. You get an extra 3 origiometry just from buying this battle pass, and you get all the goodies. Please buy this battle pass before you spend any origiometry on the premium banner. Once you buy this, you can go open season. You'll have more than enough after you end up pulling with your 120 for your guarantee to be able to get the battle pass the next time as a free-to-play player. So don't feel pressured for that. Just make sure you buy the battle pass first. With that said, the first and most important resource I've been using in order to gain premium currency is this right here, F8, your operator manual. Now, obviously, the dailies inside of here will give you 200 Oroberyls every single day. Make sure you're doing these to get that. You'll get these gradually as you end up doing your open world and whatnot, so you don't really have to worry about this too much if you are actively playing the game. The biggest thing I want to point out here, and first thing I want to point out here, is this, the node rewards. Now, as you end up doing these node rewards, not only you get a shit ton of Oroberyls. You can see 750 per every single node completed. And you'll obviously gain some extra currency over here as well, which will be super useful for leveling. The other big thing that you get is going to be this operational EXP. This is extremely important for getting your Oroberyls, because if we go over here to our authority level, you will see that every single time I end up leveling with my authority level, I gain more Oroberyls. This is the number one way that I ended up getting Oroberyls extremely fast and how I was able to do so many pulls in such a small amount of time. Highly recommend that you do these node rewards. Make sure you're taking the time and investing into this, so that way you can get all the rewards, all the Oroberyls, get all the levels, and you can start doing those pulls on the limited banner. The next thing I want to point out is there are rewards inside of here. I haven't quite done these yet. There's actually a lot I'm going to point out in here that I haven't actually done yet. As I wasn't focusing on the Oroberyls, I was mainly focusing on leveling. And see inside of here, the first time you end up completing these, you'll end up getting Oroberyls. There's 3 different difficulties for those. Also, the crisis trials over here, I've only done this one for the level mat so far, and these will also give you Oroberyls. So something to keep in mind if you're trying to fish for those extra Oroberyls. Next up are the training. The training inside of here also give you Oroberyls. Each one of these that you complete will give you 20 Oroberyls. And there's quite a few. And the same exact thing over here for the characters as well. You complete the character trainings, it'll teach you how to play the character, and it'll also give you Oroberyls. The biggest thing in here, besides the nodes, are the simulations. Now, not only do these teach you how to play the game, so you should probably just be doing these anyway. Another important thing, they also give this operator EXP. So that's going to tie back into the authority level. So make sure you're doing these as well. You can see I have every single one of them done here as levels are my main gate in order to get more of the open world exploration unlocked. Highly recommend you do that. Now that I'm capped out, I haven't done quite all of these yet. I'll get to those in a bit, maybe even after this video. I haven't really had time to play the game recently, which kind of sucks, honestly. So now I've explained F8 and everything you need to do in there. It's worth pointing out that your F7, which is your event tab, will have a bunch of goodies in here for pulls as well. You can see you get a good amount of pulls, I think 12 total from the Ardelia event over here. Daily login rewards. They have a guide over here that tells you how to get pulls as well. The New Horizons giveaway EXP. This will show you if you're ever lost on how to get pulls, where to get those from. They also have the Firewalker trial over here that gives you extra pulls. Combat drills over here. You can just try out the character. That'll give you some extra pulls. And then they also have the quest over here, which is the next thing that we'll talk about. I mentioned Operator EXP being extremely important, and doing these quests ties into that. You can see you get not only Oroberyls from this, but you also get character EXP and character mats. If you're looking for some extra materials, you're looking for some extra Oroberyls, quests are always a great way to do it. I've actually done most of mine. As you can see over here, most of these are just getting your factories up and running. So I'm still working on that. These quests do tie into the open world exploration as well, which we will talk about in a little bit, as it is the biggest source of Oroberyls in the game. Not the fastest though, like the nodes are. I kind of misspoke earlier. The nodes are the fastest one. The open world exploration is the largest source of it. What I want to mention before that though is regional development. If you go over here to regional development, this will gradually be obtained as you get more of these AIC factories put down, like right here, as you progress through the story. So the more of these you do, the more of the regional development you have. And then it'll continue leveling as you end up leveling up the levels from these. These give you a ton of goodies. These give you the standard banner pulls, which I'll mention directly after this, and Oroberyls. So you want to be doing this. You want to somewhat engage with the factory. It'll tell you how to actually grab these over here. Very important. Let's segue that actually into the standard banner pools or the pulling system in general, because I want you guys to understand how to get the most out of the pulling system before we even talk about the open world exploration, which is the biggest aspect. So as you pull, let me do a single pull over here. As you pull, we get a piece of garbage. Okay. You notice I get two things over here. I get the Arsenal tickets and I get this, the duplicate rewards. This is because I have many copies of Estella. Now, I need to show you guys something with this. When we go over here to our operators, we go to a character like, let's just go to Estella because we just got her. If you end up maxing out a character, which you can super easily with your 4 stars, you can see over here, I have 39 extras, by the way. These will turn into one of the currencies I will show you in a bit as I mash through these and they show me the artwork. By the way, side note, these artworks are actually fan art from various artists and it shows the artist in the bottom left tag. I thought that was pretty cool and just wanted to mention it. Look at this. I think that looks pretty cool. Anyway, now that I've maxed out her, every single dupe that I get after that, I can actually go over here into the AIC quota exchange and I can exchange for these AIC quota. These AIC quota can be exchanged for the current banner headhunting permits. So in my case, you see I already bought out my 5, so I'm saving them for the next banner when Gilberta comes out to be able to buy 5 there as well. I'm not sure yet if these are actually worth going into, if you're going to get enough pulls as a free-to-play to even consider investing here. So I would hold off on that for now. You're not going to really miss out on too much there. Mainly just save these for the trial permits. Another thing I want to point out is the bond quotas. Now, if you look down here in the bond quota details, you can see that it tells you you get 50 of these every time you get a duplicate of a 6-star operator and 10 of these every time you get a duplicate of a 5-star operator. So every 5-star operator you get, or rather every 2.5 5-star operators you get, you'll get one of these charter headhunter permits, or enough to be able to buy these. These are one of the resources that I used when I was trying to get a bunch of currency to pull in the Levitain banner. So do keep in mind, as you get duplicates, you will get more of the bond quota. People are asking if you should be saving for the marker of perseverance. I feel like going for the pulls is just better because pulls are always the main resource that you get limited on in every gacha game as a free-to-play. And also, if you go for the more pulls, you're going to get more duplicates, which will give you even more bond quota in the long run and potentially even more 6-stars. So I feel like these are just better bang for your buck. Now, the standard banner ties into that because as you pull in the standard banner, you're going to be able to get those bond quotas and those AIC quotas much more easily. So it is actually very important that you end up using your standard banner pulls as well if you're trying to accumulate as many pulls as possible to be able to get Levitain. There's one other source of standard banner pulls that I want to point out over here before we talk about the open world exploration. So on the map, where is he? Right over here. So on the map, you're going to remember, if you play through the story, there's this bunny guy. He's part of the stock exchange. Those stocks come from doing the factory system inside of the game. Lucky carrot. Let's do some stock redistribution. And inside of here, you're going to be able to buy more standard banner pools. Now, these, once again, are able to give you the duplicates. Those duplicates can turn into bond quota. Those bond quota or AIC quota, whatever you end up getting from it, can turn into limited banner pools. I'd highly recommend, though, that you save at least enough to be able to buy these, go through these. A quick rundown of this. If you have friends added, you can go over here to the elastic goods tab and you can press on friends price and see just how much better you can sell these off to your friends. So you can see this is a 446% increase, which is actually crazy. I'm going to buy those right now. Actually, let me double check this one. Yeah, we're buying those right now. I'm going to buy all these and we're going to go resell it over there. Actually, I might as well just show you guys how to do this real quick. So over here, my friend who has the most sell price is Sirthan. So what I want to do is I want to go to my friends tab over here. I want to go to friends and I want to go look up Sirthan over here. And then I'll press the ship icon and it'll let me visit them. Now, as I visit them, I'll be able to sell this at the stock redistribution terminal inside of the Dejong ship. Am I even saying that right? I'm not sure. This guy's an Ardelius imp. Holy, wait, was that C1? All right, right over here, there's stock redistribution terminal. Redistribution terminal. You can see right here, I have 55 of these. I can resell them and I got 267,000 Valley stock bills. This is just a free source of stock bills. If you're someone who doesn't factory max, then you can just go ahead and do that. And this will give you a ton of bills that you can end up exchanging for those standard banner pulls or whatever resources you need. Great stuff. With those explained, now let's explain the biggest source of resources for Oroberyls in the open world, which is the open world. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the pull currency, and I think it's because they're not actually doing the open world, rather. They're mainly just doing the story, and I agree, yeah, the story just doesn't give you that many resources. All the resources come from pretty much everything else in the game. That said, don't feel like you need to skip out. You'll have enough time if you are actively playing the game in order to get the character, as I've already shown you. I got it literally on day 1. All right, I'm in a part of the map I haven't actually farmed yet, so I just activated this. So there's a few things you need to know about the open world. One of them are those Arlines that you see right there. You're going to see these little floating white blobs on the map, and you're going to see these in Wuling as well. You just grab these, and as you grab those, if you grab enough, you can come over to these port places and you can press submit Arline as you see. Oh, fuck. You can press submit or lane as you see here. If you turn in enough of these, you will get origiometry and character EXP. I already mentioned why character EXP is good earlier, but you also get the origiometry from these. You will get these from Wuling as well, which is the second major region, so make sure you're grabbing those. The second thing I wanted to point out, and I just saw one over here. Oh, right here. Okay. So in the open world, you're going to notice these various objects that you can actually explode. Now, I don't know if this one actually has something behind it, but for you to explode these, you're going to need the bombs in your inventory. These bombs, they technically teach you how to make in the tutorial, but I'd imagine most people probably don't actually play through those. So as you build these up, you'll find stuff like this. This one in this case just gave me some character EXP, but those can also have like chests behind it. They can also lock off certain parts of the map like they do over here. If you're not crafting these bombs, you're missing out on a ton of the rewards in the open world. So I'm going to show you guys how to craft these real quick. Right here, this is the facility I have for making the bombs. My two outputs are going to be Akatine and Amethyst ore. So over here, I have the Amethyst ore going into a refining unit. The refining unit goes into a fitting unit, which funnily enough was the nickname your dad had in high school. And those all go into the packing unit, which funnily enough was my nickname in high school. The Akatine, on the other hand, comes out of this port. It goes into the shredding unit, and it goes into the packing unit. And these will make bombs. I have more than enough bombs. Honestly, I should probably just turn this off. I have like 10,000 of them or something at this point. You don't need that many. You need roughly 200, maybe 300 for the open world from what I've seen so far. Now, some people are going to be confused about Akatine because they don't actually know how to make them. So I'm going to show you guys a quick tutorial on how to actually make it. All right, so for you to be able to produce Akatine, which is something I struggle with personally in the early game, you're going to want 1 seed unit and 2 planting units. You're going to place them right next to each other like this and like this. And then you're going to connect this here. You're going to connect this here. Actually, that should be a little bit closer. Fixed. Then you're going to connect this here. And then you're going to connect this to, I mean, this can either go back over here, or I can go to, in my case, I'm just going to put it into a protocol stash like this. So what you would do is over here, you would grab some Akatine, which I'm sure you can find that on the map. Surely I don't need to baby you that much. Let's go grab Akatine over here. And I would go put this in here like so. And then now you'll see as I put the Akatine in here, which actually I need to quickly power these. So as I put the Akatine in here, you'll see that one of them is coming over here into this planting unit. And then one of them is coming over into this other planting unit. This seed picker over here gets 2 per every single 1 Akatine you use in here. So you can see 1 Akatine equals 2 of these. That means you're going to have a permanent going on system. This is supposed to be your Oroberyl guide, so if you want a more in-depth explanation, Muzzy actually is a pretty good guide on the factory. I check him out. I like that guy a lot, so go give him some love. Let's continue with the open world. One other thing I want to point out in the open world is you're going to notice I set up a relay network of relay towers over here that are all connected. Now, there's going to be certain parts on the map, like we're going to go see over here, where you need this to be able to power up certain aspects so you can just get inside of there. Now, you can see right here, my relay tower right there is connected all the way back from my AIC factory, and it powers up this electric nexus. There are some chests back here, so if you're ever wondering how to get those unpowered stuff, that's how you do it. You need to connect your relay system, so it brings the power all the way from your base over here, all the way into wherever it is that you have these. And I have much more of them on the map, but that's just one such example. One last thing I didn't actually get to point out because I forgot about it is that occasionally inside of this credit shop, you will see Oroberyls in here. Now, there's no Oroberyls today. There was on day 1 and day 3. You can collect these credits from down here in the bottom corner. You can see down here, it'll tell you how exactly to get more credits. Some of them are visiting the ships and helping with their nexuses and whatnot. I'm sure you guys can read through all these. You guys are literate. I believe in you. Hopefully, you learned how to farm enough pools for Leviathan before a banner ends. You can check out my beginner guide up here. You can check out my Polygon Niche guide over here. Make sure to subscribe if this concept was helpful for you. And always check me out on twitch.tv/Rhinne, where I stream Arknights Endfield. Not quite daily anymore because I'm busy making these videos for you guys, but pretty often.